I am officially bulletproofed. Yes, that's why my skin is glowing and I'm looking ripped and jacked. It's because every morning I take my mycotoxin-free bulletproof coffee and mix it up with MCT oil and grass-fed butter. Why, do you ask? Well, it does a lot of things. It replaces my meal for the morning, and it gets my brain all the right nutrients they need. Those oils, that fat, and then I don't eat until 1 or 2 o'clock. So it's not really just coffee, it's turning into a lifestyle. I remember when I visited Edinburgh for the first time, and I had never heard anyone say, I, and, it's so loud and everything. I mean, I know, James, you say it a lot, but it is part of the culture, and it also defines you from the English, doesn't it? It's like, we're not like the English, we have our own thing. And if you're an American listening to this right now, I was wondering, could you describe the relationship between the Scottish and the English?
I think it's like the relationship between the Scottish and the English, I think, is a really good one. I think it's between Scots and other Scots. I mean, every friend that I have that's English, that I brought up to Scotland, they always say, why is it you guys love visitors? Because they make a big fuss at anybody, wherever they come from, there's visitors. But you just hate each other. Why is it you hate each other? I don't know really, and I think it's, without getting kind of too political about it, I think it's to do with this kind of status of Scotland, being, not quite a nation yet. And I think it's part of that kind of growing up thing, I think once, if it does become independent, I think that, that'll be a kind of stepping stone towards kind of growing up and being a bit sort of, a bit more kind of happy in our own skin. And I've noticed that with the younger generation, it's not like that at all. It's been that post kind of house, kind of rave generation. It's a whole different attitude.
Okay. Yeah, you are the history of your nation. You carry it around with you. Me as an American, I carry around that history. It's kind of into your psyche, and
you haven't got much history though, if you're American, have you?
Yeah, a couple hundred years.
You're a bit skimpy on that.
A couple hundred years. But I must find like my grandparents were farmers and ranchers, and like there's this mentality in America that if you work hard enough, you can get something, because he was always like, go west and plant something and you can build something. So I think that whole like optimism, entrepreneurial spirit just comes from almost the geographic layout of America.
And just having the option to keep moving, keep going and keep trying.
Whereas, for hundreds of years in England and Scotland, I'm sorry, that piece of land is owned by that clan and that's owned by that guy, so fuck you. You got to do this. So it's just a weird thing. Are you for Scottish independence?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the way it's kind of going. I mean, it seems to me that I don't know if it's going to happen next year. I think it's maybe a bit kind of too soon at the referendum. But I think that I just feel that it's like the union of Scotland and England seems to be in a kind of secular decline. I think people are more proud to be English rather than British now, and people are more proud to be Scottish rather than British. And I think it's just that way that it's almost like they've got to find their own kind of destiny, really. It's that kind of thing. They've got to, it's almost like a post-imperial thing. There's no empire now. There's no industry. All the things that kind of bound Scotland and England together. There's no welfare state. So it's like all these things that kind of held us together in the 2 world wars and the esprit de corps of all that have kind of gone. So I think they're kind of reverting back to their original identities, basically.
I like how with someone like Andy Murray, if he wins the US Open, he's British. If he loses, he's Scottish. Keep it like that.
That's how it works.
I like it that way. Do you know what I mean? It suits me like that.
I thought you might like that.